Okay, so your start date, the day you leave is October the 16th through to the 24th, with the extension if you wish to do Madrid a couple more days after that. So on your trip, you're going to meet some of the friendliest people. And you're going to learn about folklore and all of their different traditions, the delicious foods. And of course, this Spain is with the ocean in many parts of it and in its surrounding areas. So you'll have a lot of seafood to try. You're going to see some historical sites. This is Ronda, and you'll learn more about it. They have amazing beaches. And so if you decide that you don't necessarily want to do every optional tour, then you will be able to just enjoy a beach. So day one, we're going to depart for Spain, and you will leave from Boston, Massachusetts. And of course, hola is hello in Spanish, and this is their flag. And this is the area we're going to land in. We're going to land at Malaga, and then you're going to travel to Seville and Torremolinos and Ronda and a variety of other places, plus Gibraltar, and also into Morocco as well. So this is a really amazing trip. And here's a little bit more information here showing you. And of course, Gibraltar's down here and Tangier is across here. So welcome to Costa del Sol. And as you get off your plane in Malaga, you will be picking up your luggage. You will then go through customs and immigration, and then you will meet your tour director. So for those of you that went to Spain, it is the same procedure. Once you are out of customs, they send you out the exit door, and your tour director will be waiting there for you with the motor coach and with the bus driver. And again, similar motor coaches, great, they're air conditioned. You can take great photos, even though the windows are tinted, you'll still be able to take some great photos. And of course, they're relaxing as well, the seats and everything else. Now, I know in Greece, we didn't have water on the buses, but normally in Spain we do, but that's something I guess when you get back, you'll tell me and I'll try to find out ahead of time. But normally we do have water on the buses. So from Malaga, you're going to literally drive to Torremolinos, and Torremolinos is known for its beaches, as you can see, absolutely beautiful. They have a promenade along here, and your hotel is right along the beach, so you'll be able to walk along the promenade. These are some of the scenes just down from your hotel, so you're going to be able to walk to them. And here it is, the promenade. You'll see it, and you can go through that. There's also a lot of shops, a lot of things to explore. The food, the restaurants are really great in this part of Spain. And of course, they're well known for it. You're going to have that night, actually, when you get in to Torremolinos, you actually have about the afternoon for leisure time. So you can unpack, and you're going to be staying here every day and for the whole trip, unless you go on to the extension. So you can unpack and relax, and you'll have dinner that night. It's part of your package, and it'll be in the hotel, and you'll be able to just get ready for the next day. So your next day is Seville. So you'll have breakfast in Torremolinos, and then you will hop on the motor coach, and you're going to go to Seville. And of course, it's known as one of the most romantic cities in the world. You will also have dinner on this day as well, provided by your tour package. Seville is the only river port in Spain. All the other ones are on the ocean, but this is the only river port in Spain. It's an extremely old city. It is one of Europe's largest cities. It's built in the 16th century. So a lot of amazing architecture that you're going to see, beautiful tiles, things like that. Seville is approximately 2,200 years old. And the weather here in October will be in the high 50s in the evenings, high 70s in the daytime, or mid 70s in the daytime. So really nice for travel. This golden tower that you can see here, it is a military watchtower. It was constructed in the 13th century. It is 118 feet high, and the reason it's called the Gold Tower is it had gold tiles all over it at one time. And now it's home to a local naval museum. So when in your leisure time, if that's something you want to do while you're in Seville, you may want to explore that. So this is the Plaza de Espana and Maria Luisa Park. The plaza itself is all around the park is all around the plaza, actually. It is a lot of principal buildings, a lot of main government buildings, things like that are here. And it was actually inaugurated and built in 1778, I want to say. So this is very old here. And again, you'll be able to notice the architectures, different style, Renaissance, Gothic, and of course, all the different other things and countries. So here again is more information, actually, and I'm wrong there. I was talking about the park, I guess, but it was actually built in 1928. So, and that was for the expo, similar to what the International World Expos are, but that was when it was first built for that. You can see the squares lined with ceramic tile. This is beautiful. It's breathtaking almost when you're there. It's hard to imagine how someone has put together all these beautiful tiles. And here's another picture of it from another area. And more tiles along the walls and everything else. It's great for photo taking. You can take 1,000 pictures just in this one place alone. So this is the Santa Cruz district, and this is the Jewish district. In the 16th century, there were about 5,000 Jewish folks that were living here in this area. And it's considered as one of the most popular areas to come into. There's lots of shopping if you like to do things like that, lots of history, things to look at, and you'll have some free time in this area. It's a beautiful country. You're also going to see the Cathedral of Seville. And they have amazing gardens with the olive trees, things like that. So you'll be able to walk around, and the architecture again is Renaissance and Gothic. And then you'll go to the tower here, and this is the oldest building in Seville. And again, we have tour guides that will help you in each city, and they are amazing. I know you probably found in Greece that they were. They know everything about these cities, and they know everything about the towers, and can explain why they were built, for what reasons, and all of that. And of course, Christopher Columbus came from this area and brought back many of his treasures from the New World. And so you'll learn more about him. Then you'll go on to the Royal Alcazars of Seville. And these are Moorish and Renaissance palace. It was built centuries ago and added on. They just kept adding on to it. It's beautiful gardens. Again, you'll have time to go through all of this, see the gardens, and your tour director again will explain the history of it, how it's taken over by different nations, different countries, and back and forth, and how long it took them to build it, all those types of things. Flamenco dance is considered as the Andalusian folk dance, and there's a museum dedicated to it. And the UNESCO Heritage Center has also dedicated this particular dance as part of the culture of Spain. And so you will have an opportunity to go into the museum. I'm not sure that we actually go into it. I haven't been in that museum, but there are tickets that you can purchase if you want to go into it. And again, if you have some leisure time, you can do that. Then on day 4, we're actually going to go to Gibraltar. And so on day 4, we're going to have breakfast in Torremolinos. You will also have dinner when you return back to the hotel. That's included in this package. And so you're going to get on a small little boat. It's not huge, but it's not tiny either. Here's sort of a sample of them. This is a better picture of it. And you're going to go over to the Rock of Gibraltar. So here's the Rock of Gibraltar, and it is the most famous in the world. And the British have actually governed this and reigned over this rock for more years than we have in the United States of America. So a long history of the British being here. It was also a very important naval area in World War II. And there is a small fishing village there, and you'll be able to visit it and see some of the sights there. They have monkeys, all kinds of them, but these two pose for pictures. And you can see how it was a fort and how it protected the area as well. Gibraltar has about 32,000 people living there. I think it's probably grown a little bit since we've been there, since I've been there. So it's probably closer to the 40 or 50. And of course, you can see the British flags and you can see the port. And this is the southernmost point of Gibraltar as well. And the House of Government wouldn't be British if you didn't go see this. And you'll see that it's Palladian architecture, which is quite different from the Gothic or the Renaissance architecture as well. And then you'll have plenty of free time to explore and just enjoy the British way of doing things. You will need your passports, obviously, when you come to this part of the country. And then you have an option to take an optional tour. And this optional tour will be on our 5th day. And again, you'll leave Torremolinos and you will have breakfast and you will have dinner at the hotel when you come back. And so now we're going on to Morocco. And so Tangiers is about 17 miles actually from Spain. And so you will hop on board on one of these beautiful boats here and go over to Morocco. So Tangier is a large place. It's obviously on the coast of the Mediterranean Sea. It's been ruled by the Romans, the Vandals, the Byzantines, the Arabs, and the Portuguese. So it has quite the history. It's more than 2.5 millennia old. So it is a very, very ancient city. And it was really on the trails, if you want to call it, for when they were traveling across the countries with the spices and things back and forth to China and other places. We're going to visit the Casbah, which is the old town. It'll be a walking tour. There's amazing shopping if you like to shop. This whole area is tourism. They have a lot of building trades in Morocco here. They have a lot of fishing, and they have a lot of textile and carpet manufacturing in this part of the world. So again, very interesting city to visit. Here's a little bit more of it on the hill showing you. This is the Cape Spartel. This lighthouse is built many, many, many years ago and is still a point for all the ships at sea to watch for it. And it is an old walled city, so you're going to again be able to experience some of that and walk around it. And you can see the fortified walls here. It's huge. It's absolutely beautiful city. Really, really beautiful city. And you're going to go to Casbah, which is the old town, and you're going to get a chance to see how people live still in this area and walk the streets and do the shopping that you might like to do as well. They have some great souvenir shops. And Morocco also has some, in Tangier anyway, not necessarily in the rest of Morocco, but they have great railway transportation and great highway transportation in this part of Morocco. And here you can see the carpets and all sorts of different things that you'll be able to bring home as a treasure. And again, different things. I had a travel agent friend who always said, don't buy anything larger than your head because you'll never be able to pack it in your luggage. And I've brought a few things home larger, and it has been a bit of a challenge to bring it home. But it's good information to remember. She was a good travel agent. And again, you can see some of the silver, the spices, the food, the carpets. I mean, it's just waiting for you to explore. And you can ride a camel. And I know when I didn't ride a camel here, but when I was in Egypt, I rode the camels. And honestly, that was a highlight. They're awfully high. They're definitely higher than a horse. And it was just great to say you'd ridden a camel. So when you get back to the hotel, obviously you're going to relax and rest and get ready for day 6. And day 6 again, you will have breakfast in Torremolinos, and you will also have dinner when you come back in the hotel. Or you can go out. You don't have to do all the dinners that they provide. We eat a lot of the dinners, but then we also take time to go somewhere and try a new restaurant, something like that. And they have great food here and all sorts of choices. So Ronda, this is a full day tour of Ronda, and it's just part of your trip. It's not optional. It's actually part of the trip that you're on. And this city is broken into 2 parts because it has a huge gorge that's over 100 feet deep. And you will find that half the city's on one side and the other half of the city is on the other side. So it's a mountaintop city also, which is unusual. It's very unusual. It's also the home of modern day bullfighting. So this is where bullfighting, the modern day, started. It's also extremely beautiful. Just going through this area, you'll be taking pictures all the time. It's so gorgeous. And the typical Andalusian white villages, you will see them, of course. This is Ronda and the white villages. And here you can see again. And this deep gorge is really deep. And here you go. You're going to be able to walk across this bridge. This bridge was built in the 13th century. It's the Puente Nuevo. And you'll be able to walk along this and look through, and you can take some amazing photos as well. And you can see how it just cascades down the water down into there. And this is along the bridge itself. Just imagining how they built this in the 13th century and that it's still here. And here you go again, where you'll be able to see across and photos, things like that. And more of it. It's just beautiful country here, absolutely stunning. And again, this is the bull ring, and you can see here in the information they've given, it's the home of the modern day bullfighting. It's one of the oldest and most picturesque in Spain. It was built in 1786, and it was built by, or 85, it was built by the architect Jose Martin Adelahuela, and it's the same person who built the bridge. So here's the bridge, and then he went into building a ring as well. It will hold 5,000 spectators, which is amazing. And to this day, it's very popular. And of course, you can walk century-old streets, and Ernest Hemingway passed this way, and many other Hollywood nobility, if you want to call them. And just when you think even of the individual people who have lived here for centuries and passed through here. We're also going to visit a wine museum because, of course, as you saw, with all the beautiful landscape, they would obviously be able to grow vineyards. And so we're going to visit a wine museum in Ronda, and you will get to taste the different local foods as well while you are doing the wine tasting. Usually they give you about 4 samples of wine that they grow to taste and the foods that pair with them. It's beautifully done, very enjoyable. So you can enjoy or explore or try fit both in, have time for lunch and explore some of these wonderful buildings, the different gates, the different things that are all around. Then on day 7, this becomes an optional tour again, and you have a choice, and this is Granada. And if you don't want to go on to Granada, then again, you could stay in Torremolinos or maybe travel around somewhere locally close and enjoy the day in your own way if you want to do that, or you can come with us to Granada. So again, breakfast is included, and then when you get back to the hotel, you'll have dinner. There are 4 rivers that connect here. They meet here in Granada. So lots of beautiful scenes to see, lots of water. And of course, the very, very most famous part of Granada is this Alhambra masterpiece, the Moorish palace, and it was built in the 14th century. They call it the Red Castle as well. And it was built actually in the between 1232 and 1402. So it took a long time. It has a variety of architecture as well, but it all seems to fit in and look really beautiful. And so here you can see that the Muslim dynasties ruled this area from 711 And they enjoyed luxury and easy life. And so they built this beautiful place to do just that, provide them with all the opportunities and the finest pleasures of life that life can give you. And so today it's 13th and 14th century, and it's beautifully located in this court here. And you will see lots of this. You actually get to tour this. So it was a fortification also, and the walls are very strong. You will see again through here. You really get to tour quite a bit of these palaces, and there were 3 original palaces, and now of course it's just considered as one palace. So you will get to see all of these different areas. It's just beautiful. And the sandstone, the carvings, things like that. And again, more tile, just beautifully laid tile of all different patterns and colors. And then here's the Palace of General Life that you're going to also be able to see. And this is something that has magnificent gardens. It's known for its gardens. And so again, when you come through, you will have a tour of the different gardens. And then we go on the next day, day 8, which is again breakfast in Torremolinos, and then an optional tour to Mijas. And that's the early bird tour that we gave you, that if you signed up in ahead of a certain date, then you would be able to get this at no cost. I believe normally it's about $79. This is a little village. And it's quite quaint, it's quite different, again, from the other places that you've been to. You'll have breakfast and dinner again as your choice if you wish to. If not, then you just do what you'd like to do later on. It's a hillside village. It has 7 golf courses, and they say they're building more. So it must be very popular with the golfers year round. And tourism is its big industry, but it also provides and cultivates potatoes and different types of cereal we get from there, and avocados it's known for. And they also have mills, paper mills that date back to 1774. So lots of history in this little village. But as you can see, small, narrow streets, lots of quaint parts to it, and really interesting again to see and travel through this area. And they have such a thing as a village donkey taxi. So if you are brave and you didn't ride camels, you could maybe try the donkey taxi here. And these are some of the views that you will see from Mijas. You also could take a visit to Malaga, which is where we first started our trip. But here are different parts of Spain that you're going to see, or you just want to relax on the beach and let everything just sort of go by you. And here's your golf. And of course, flamenco dancers and the museum. And then, you know, the fishing, the meats, the butcher shops, the shoes, shopping, if that's something you'd like to do, all of the market scenes that you would enjoy. And this looks like these folks have it right with the bougainvillea. So on day 9, if you do not plan to go on to the extension to Madrid, which honestly, for $699 more, I would say let's do it. You depart for your hotel, and then they will take you to the airport on day 9. Or they will have you continue on. After we say goodbye to you, they will have you then continue on to Madrid. So here are some of the things that you'll remember if you take only that first part of the trip. The Spanish people are known for being friendly. They're a lot of fun. The rich history. This is the Red Castle. That's so beautiful. The coastlines, just amazing. Architecture here, and the tiles, the dancing, the culture, the food. So this trip includes your round-trip air transportation from Boston, Massachusetts, first-class accommodations for 7 nights, superb cuisine, which are 14 included meals, so 7 breakfasts, 7 dinners. Sightseeing tour program, so you have the local guide and all the entries to the tour, the full day tour to Seville, the tour to Ronda, tour to, I can't see, I'm sorry, I'm not reading it right, to the Rock of Gibraltar, and then the optional tours, you can purchase them over and above that. Cultural Discovery Series will be both the flamenco, learning about flamenco dance in Seville, learning about the wine production at the Wine Museum in Ronda. Your tour directors are with you all the time. They stay with you. If there's any sort of need, they are there to help you. If there's any sort of translations that are needed, they're there to help you. They're really great. And then, of course, your motor coaches are very comfortable, air conditioned. And of course, it includes the baggage handling and the transfers for 1 piece of checked luggage outside of the airport. So those are the things that this part is included in. And then the tour price is your $26.49 per person, double occupancy. They've included the fuel taxes, but they have not included the $150 taxes, and that's standard. And so your Mijas tour is $79, and you have until May 5 to sign up for it. So that's great. You've got time so that you won't have to pay for that trip. And then after that, it increases by $100, the trip does, per person. And also the Mijas trip would also cost more. So you can go on to extend your trip to Madrid. And Madrid is full of so many beautiful things. It is one of the largest cities in the European Union. And your Madrid extension includes, and that would be the October 24th through to the 26th. And so it includes first class accommodation for 2 nights. You have 2 meals included there, your breakfast. So lunch and dinner you would be responsible for. It includes your sightseeing. So that means you have your local guide, the entrance fees to the half-day tour of Madrid, and including the Royal Palace, which no one should go to Madrid without seeing the Royal Palace. Your tour director will be part of you, everything that you do. And the motor coaches, again, are comfortable, and your baggage handling. So that's what it includes. And your price is $6.99 per person for double occupancy, or $9.98 for single. So as you can see on the map, you're going to see a number of different things. You have here Gibraltar down here. You have Tangiers over here. You have where you land in Malaga to begin your adventure. You have Seville. You have Granada. The other areas that you're going to see will be around here, and then you'll go on to Madrid as well. So you're going to see a really good portion of Spain, and you'll have some wonderful memories. So here, welcome to Spain. And of course, Spain, as I said, is one of the largest cities in Europe, in the European nation. It has some amazing fountains that you're going to see in buildings. And this is one of the main streets. It's over 6 miles long, and it's one of the largest and longest streets in Madrid. You're going to see the Palace of Seville. Now this fountain here, there are 2 major soccer teams for Spain. And when they win, one of them comes here to celebrate, and all the crowds come and celebrate with them. And that's here, the Fountain of Seville. And then the other one is the Fountain of Neptune. So the other team, I think it's the secondary team, comes and celebrates here. So everybody, the crowds come to celebrate when they win, whether it's through the European Union, the soccer tournaments, or the world tournaments. However they win, that's where they celebrate, in those 2 different fountains, and everybody comes. This is the Alcalá Gate. And of course, again, this is your longest street in Madrid. And this gate was built around 1700s. It is right in the middle, and you will be able to, I believe they actually may stop there for you to see it and to be able to walk through it. I didn't get a chance to do that, but just even the drive around it will be amazing. And the Plaza Espana, you'll be able to travel here also and walk through here. Sculpture of Miguel de Cervantes, Don Quixote, and Sancho Panza are all here, and that's where you see them right here, so you'll be able to see that. The Royal Palace you will be going to as well. it's not the official residence of the King of Spain now, but it has been in other times. And now it is for special ceremonies and official banquets and things like that. So again, you'll be able to tour this. You can see again the plaza, the main plaza in Madrid. Be able to, again, your tour guides will take you through it and talk about the different buildings and what they mean here. Also be able to shop if you wish, have free time. You'll have free time going through all of this area here. And then here's modern Madrid. So it really goes from one extreme to the other, the different ages and the different Renaissance buildings. And then you have here these new buildings that are very modern. And you'll be able to also stroll through the gardens of Retiro Park and go through all of that. Beautiful gardens, absolutely stunning. They're so well kept, very peaceful. And you're going in a really good time. October is perfect time to go to these places. And you have a chance to visit, if with your spare time, to visit the Prado Museum, which is a must for everyone as well. We also have time for last minute shopping, depending on what you would like to purchase. Lots of leather goods, fans, all sorts of different things, jewelry, beautiful things that you will take back to folks at home to help you remember and thank them for maybe looking after the dog or something. You also will be able to enjoy the restaurants. This Casa Button is a really great restaurant. And again, you might find that's what you want to do. Try the roast suckling pig. And you can just watch the world go by with a cup of coffee. And then, of course, enjoy your last night again with Don Quixote and his friends. So day 11, you would depart for the hotel, for the airport, depart the hotel, and you go home. And of course, you'll have some great memories of this beautiful country, the bullfighting. Of course, we get pictures of you always. And visas are not required for U.S. citizens at this point in time. There is a new visa, European Union type of visa coming out, but it will not be coming out before next year. But when it does, it'll cost you about $10 and it'll be good for 3 years. So it's something that you might want to think about in a few years' time so you can come back either to visit Spain or go on with us to visit Italy or some of the other beautiful places that we take you to. So here's how you sign up. Here's your form, your paper form or your email form. So you will receive this from the chamber if you haven't already. It gives you your price. So you basically do just like you did for Greece, or if you haven't done a trip with us, you fill in your name, phone number, all the contact information. Make sure your email is correct because that's how we will correspond with you. And make sure your passport number is in here. If for some reason your passport is expired, then I suggest you put your old passport number in here, and you can state right here, or you could put in the notes section that you have applied for a new passport. So here's your notes section, and you can, I like you, if you can, give the date that you applied for it. That helps our folks. They know approximately how long it's going to take for you to get a new passport. If you've never had a passport, or if someone in your family hasn't that's coming with you, then I would suggest you immediately, right now, get on to getting and applying for a passport. And you can do it online, generally speaking, and they'll tell you how long it will take you. Your optional trips are here, and it gives the pricing. Remember the Mijas trip, if you sign up early bird, you won't have to pay for that one. So the other trips are right here, Tangiers and Granada. And then if you wish to go on the extension to Madrid, here is the cost here as well. And we'd like you to let us yes or no. Remember, optional trips and extensions, you do have to sign up for them when you register, because we have to book and we have to make sure we have hotels for Madrid. We also have to make sure we have tour directors and tour guides and things for the different areas. So it's important that you let us know and you book for and register for them right away. You fill out the totals as they are on either side. Then you add them over here to the left. You calculate your trip cost. Remember that it is important for you to purchase travel insurance, and I'll go over it in a minute. And then you put your total prices down here. Your travel insurance, you have two options. You have a basic travel insurance plan, and it goes by how much your trip costs. So if you look at each area, it will tell you exactly how much your trip will cost after you've added all this up, and then you will take a look. There are two options. There's the basic policy, and it is always less than the cancel for any reason. And I'll show you what covers what. Then you fill out those, calculate your deposit information. You can pay by check. If you pay by credit card, you fill all of this out, and then you can email it to to your chamber, and you can to Tracy, and then she can send it off to Aventura World, and then you will get in return an email coming from Aventura World, which will give you a link to pay with your credit card. You read everything through here on if you were to cancel your refunds, what they would be. Down here as well, and then you sign and date it. Okay, now you can also do it, and this is the travel insurance, so it's really important to have some insurance. If you don't wish to do it through Aventura World, it's not our company, but it's a company that we work with to make sure that people have the convenience of buying the insurance. You can also purchase it through one of your own. If you have someone you do house insurance and car insurance and you want to do it through them, you can do it through them. But your insurance covers due to sickness or death of you or the immediate family, medical on the trip. So if you sprained your ankle and you had to have someone look at it at a hospital, that's what it covers. Trip interruption, if things were stopped for some reason, travel delay, missed connections, emergency medical evacuation, lost baggage and personal effects, which tends to be the main thing that most people need insurance for, and then baggage delay. And as some of you know, you probably had someone on your trip who didn't get their luggage this last time, even in Greece. And if they had the insurance, they could go and purchase personal items and some clothing if they needed to until they got their baggage. Or if they didn't get their baggage, then they would have it compensated when they got back. So those are the things that it covers, this basic insurance plan. The cancel for any reason insurance is available, but you have to pay for this policy when you make your reservation for Spain. So it would be needed to be done at the same time, but you have up to 48 hours before you depart to cancel for absolutely any reason. I had a customer who bought cancel for any reason insurance, but instead of just saying he wanted to cancel, he said that his doctor said he couldn't go because he had a bad arm. Well, then he had to provide a doctor's note, and the doctor didn't want to because the arm wasn't that bad. So don't do something like that. If you're canceling for any reason, just say you don't want to go. That's it. When you buy the cancel for any reason insurance, you have the coverage of the standard policy, but it gives you the cancel for any reason opportunity. And then you do receive reimbursement of 65% of the cancel for penalty amount. And you also get from Aventura World a credit of 35% for the penalty for a future travel trip. So you basically are covered pretty much overall, except for what you paid for that insurance. Okay, you don't obviously get the insurance costs back. You can go to this website. We also send you updated information on how to do that if you need to, or if you have any questions, you can buy it directly, or as we suggest, you should buy it with the initial reservation. So that's basically the same on the registration form if you pay by check. When you send in a check and your registration form, you will then receive an email back from Aventura World, and they will help you with the process. They will buy the insurance and then you pay them. They will charge you for that. Online, this is how it looks. So if you've never booked with us, you would do it here on the right-hand side, and you would want your first name and your last name and an email and a password. So whatever you decide. If you've reserved with us before, then you can do it on the left side. So for those of your folks that have been with us to Greece, you could just do it on the left side if you wish. It's not hard, it's straightforward. It's just like the paper form or the email form. Here's information about the insurance again. And again, that's information we send to you. So you will have it and your chamber will have it. But here is step one for the online. You simply say when you're leaving, return date, the total cost of your trip, number of travelers that you've actually insured, if you're doing that, state of residence, that type of thing. Then you go on to the next one, and this gives you the insurance coverage limits and the plans that you've chosen. Step 3 gives you more information on it. Step 4 tells you and advises you where to put in your initial deposit date, and you send it. This also gives you information on how to register. It just goes right through like your paper form. So it wants to know your name, last name. You don't have a member ID, so you don't need to worry about it. Your home number, your city, address, zip codes. Email is really important that it's right. And it goes through it again. If you have a beneficiary you want to name, you tell them how you want your policy delivered, either by email or postal service. They'll send it. But again, make sure your address is correct or your email is correct. And you go through it that way. Down here, they ask you primary destination. You're just going to click on this and you will put in Spain. They ask for the airline. You don't know. We don't get that information until 45 days prior to your trip. So we're not able to tell you now, and we won't be able to tell you until 45 days prior to your trip. You just put unknown. There's a section here, it clicks and you go unknown or undecided. And then your booking portal goes through step by step. There will be a number of different times they email you to make sure that your email is correct. And that's basically how you do it. And it goes step by step by step. This is your Greece. So we have just a generic one to show you how to do it. But who has questions? What can I help you with?
Yeah,
Does anyone have questions?
use just euros in Spain?
Use euros. Yes, you do. And there are ATMs everywhere, more than you would find in Greece. Okay, so there are more ATMs. I was talking to a banker the other day, and he told me that and I don't know, because I don't usually buy my ATMs from a financial institution here in the USA, but he said sometimes it's cheaper to just buy them at the ATMs in Spain or Greece or somewhere than it is to get euro dollars from your bank. So I would check and find out what your bank will charge you or your credit union will charge you.
That's what I did when we were in Greece, and I've also done it in Italy, and it was a lot less expensive.
Yeah, it's a lot less, and you can get exactly the amount you want pretty much too, so it's good. What other questions, anybody? Tracy, any questions you have?
I was wondering about the Tangiers trip. Should women be prepared to wear long sleeves, cover their head, or are there any precautions like that we should be aware of?
I am not aware of at this point in time. I did. I mean, skirts or long dresses are so comfortable anyway. When it's warm, they're more comfortable. And usually you don't have to wear anything on your head unless you're going into a mosque or something like that. But I'll check with Ian, and then of course we will tell people on our pre-departure if that's the case. But I wore a long skirt because it was more comfortable. Okay. And I had 3/4 sleeves. Didn't need to have sleeves all the way down to your wrists. I just had a 3/4 sleeve, and again, it was more comfortable. So
okay.
I have a question.
Okay, so you said several times about like free time and stuff. So about how much free time are we gonna have at each destination or each day to kind of go out and explore before or after the tours?
Well, you'll always have free time when you come back to Torremolinos, because you can, have dinner at the hotel. And in Spain, everything's open late. So free time is good after dinner. You'll find if you want to, you can wander around the streets and it's very safe. You can also, they usually give you a couple of hours of free time, depending on the city or the village that we're in. And, also it's negotiable sometimes. If you get through seeing some things a little more quickly than another group, you'll find that your tour guide's pretty good about negotiating extra time if you want it as well. So.
Okay. No, I know like in Italy and stuff, they tend to eat later in the evening
Right.
than we do in the US. What are the traditions in Spain? What time do they usually eat dinner?
Yeah, Europe dinner's usually 6:30ish around there. And that gives you time to get back. You'll probably find you get back usually from trips around 5ish, and it gives you time to sort of relax a little bit, maybe go have a drink if you want before you have dinner. Some people like to do that, or just freshen up, have a shower or something. But usually 6:37 is about the time people eat in Europe overall. And then Spain, they have places that stay open all night. So if you want to be brave and stay out as long as you want and then get up in the morning and go on another trip, you have the opportunity to. Okay.
Nice. Now,
What else?
so Teresa, you've been on this trip already?
It's
I
been a
haven't.
while. Yeah.
Yeah, I haven't been on the Spain one, Annette, but I did just return from Greece with Aventura earlier this month. And
Nice.
I've heard a lot of good things about this particular trip. In fact, I actually booked this trip while I was in Greece. I contacted Teresa and said, let's book it, because I was hearing from, there were some other chambers that were staying at the same resort, and they said that this one was just wonderful. So I actually booked it while I was still in Greece.
Oh, nice. Excellent.
Yeah, it's a really good trip. I have a chamber that just came back. They're from Texas, and they loved it. Every part of it. There wasn't a single thing they said they would have changed. They loved every bit of it, and they did everything on the trip too. They literally did it all.
What about the toilet paper? Does it go in the toilet, or do you have to put it in the trash can?
Well, it depends. If you're in a large city like Madrid, they have all of the plumbing that's needed, and things will be probably just fine. And if you're in a little village, it might be a different situation. So, again, those are local things that your tour guide will help you understand. Sometimes in some places too, it costs $1 to go into the facilities if you're somewhere. I know we paid in Greece somewhere, and we've paid in Italy. I didn't pay in Spain, but things might have changed. But the villages, the smaller villages, chances are that might be. But in the cities, the big cities, no.
Oh, okay.
What else?
So it looks like comfortable walking shoes.
Oh, definitely. That's a definite yes. This trip is listed as a 3 out of 5, so it's right in the middle. You will walk a lot, and I always take 2 pairs. So if my feet get tired on one, I let those shoes rest, and I use the other shoes the other day.
All right. And no rain during that time of the year, or
Not much.
not much?
Not much.
Is there a minimum number of signups that we need for the trip?
No, there isn't. What they will do is, if it ends up just being us, which I hope it won't, I hope we'll have more people. But they will put us with other chambers that are already going. So, we won't have to cancel at all.
It's
Okay.
fun too. You get to meet other folks from other parts, sometimes Canadian chambers, sometimes other American chambers. It's fun. You get to know about other chambers and meet other people. It's really interesting. I like doing that part.
When we were in Greece at the same resort, there were people that had signed up with chambers in Tennessee, in South Dakota, and Maryland. And for the most part, those of us from New Hampshire were all on, because we partnered with the Nashua Chamber for that one. So we had a bus full, just our New Hampshire people. But at dinner, we all had dinner at the same time and in the same place. So we got to talk with each other and compare notes, and that was a lot of fun.
Yeah, this group
Nice.
travel is a great way to meet people, and you might find you meet someone that you want to travel with. And I have people that do that have traveled for years with me from all over the place. And that's another thing. If you have friends or family that live somewhere else, not close to your own home or to Boston, they can come. Tell them they just need to put on they can register. And what they do is they say that they would like to leave. For example, if they wanted to leave from somewhere in California, they put down, I want to leave from San Francisco, California, or Tracy, California. And there is a deviation cost. It's about $150, but our folks at Aventura World will get back with them and tell them, okay, this is what the additional cost would be. And normally it's no more than about $150 a person. So you can invite friends and family from all across the country to come with you on this trip.
Yeah, I'm hoping to bring my eldest daughter on this one, and she'll be coming from St. Louis.
Yeah. And again, it's great. We have people that do anniversaries and birthdays, all sorts of things like that. Get your family together and celebrate.